Ladies and gentlemen,
this is Gamer Tag Radio.
Welcome to a brand new episode here at Gamer Tag Radio. This is your host, Danny Pena, and also joining me from the United States, Paris Lily. How you doing, Paris?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing?
Good, man. I know later this week in the States, we celebrate Thanksgiving. A lot of people in other countries don't celebrate that. But, I don't want to do no news today, nothing. It was just like, I just want to have a conversation with Paris about the 20th anniversary of the Xbox 360. One of my top consoles of all time. Because that console had a huge impact on our lives and our careers and everything. And I just want to reminisce and just talk about, like, how impactful was that console at that time, I still have mine here. I know you have your face plates. I have that somewhere. I got to look for it, but yeah. That's a 0 hour.
How do you don't have this? You had to go to 0 hour to have it.
No, you know what happened? I actually talked to Gamerscore blog. I'm like, hey, do you have any extra ones? And they gave me one.
So like these people on Twitter now, you're faking your location.
No, so they gave me two. They gave me that, and they also gave me the E3 2005 faceplate.
I got that one. So you didn't go to E3. I thought you went to the briefing for that. So you didn't go? Because that's where they were handing them out at. Because no. At that time, I didn't have contacts in 05. Ah, okay. Yeah, because my ass back then, they wouldn't let me in nothing.
Yeah, I tried, and they were like, yeah, we don't know you. So, but we don't know you. Who are you? So then I talked to the team, and they're like, oh, yeah, we have tons of faceplates from like E305. I'm like, oh, can I have one? And they gave me one. Yeah. It's somewhere. I got to look, and it's like a special case and everything too. So... Yeah.
So I because I got the faceplate. I have I'm sure we'll get into this whole story, but I also have the hoodie, and I've worn it a million times throughout the years. So it's not people have seen it, but I was gonna wear it for this, but then people were sleeping. I was like, okay,
it's all good.
But I actually have two of them.
Nice.
I have
0 hour.
I have 2 0 hour hoodies because a friend of mine that was supposed to go couldn't go. So he gave me like his invitation thing. So when I went through the line and got mine, I circled right back around and I had his and I got a second one. So I actually have two of them to this day. Yeah.
Same size?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, actually, I was supposed to, and we're going to talk about it, guys, but I was supposed to be at 0 hour. I got invited. They were going to pay. The only thing I had to pay was my flight.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I only had to pay for my flight, but they were going to pay for the hotel. I don't know how far it was from the hotel to the event. Because I'd never been there.
Oh, I can tell you. We'll get into it. I can tell you the whole thing about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was supposed to be there, but that same weekend, my cousin was also getting married. So I'm like, this is once in a lifetime. I can't. Our family comes first. So I stayed. But Microsoft invited me to go. Jay Adler, the team, everybody invited me to go. I'm like, oh man,
didn't you why am I blanking on his name? Didn't someone from GTR go?
Oh, Cyber
Athlete. There you go. Yeah.
Cyber back Athlete. In those days. Yeah. He actually texted me the other day to shout to him. Yeah. But I was like, hey, can you go? He went. He got to meet everybody. Honestly, if I would have gone, we probably would have bumped to each other. At the event for sure.
Yeah, but back then I wouldn't have known nothing.
No, but you never know. Yeah. I was like, hey, I remember you. Hey, yeah, You never know. But man, like it was a really cool moment. But what I did went to the midnight launch in Miami, and I was getting calls from everybody in different places from New York. I think I had a call from Cyber Athlete from 0 hour. He called me. Just giving us like a report. Like, hey, I'm live here, because I think you guys was 48 hours, right? Mm-hmm. It was a 48. So a lot of people don't know this, but Xbox Unleashed was another event, but this one's for like 2 weeks before the actual midnight launch of the original Xbox. Was also a 48-hour competition. So somebody in marketing had the idea of like, let's do a 48-hour event for these consoles, and that at that time Xbox Unleashed, they had one in New York and another one in LA, and it was also 48 hours. It was sponsored by like Taco Bell and all these other companies and stuff, right? And if you had like the highest points while playing all the launch titles of the console, then you get a free trip to like Cancun. You get a car with custom made. You could play Xbox in the car and all that stuff. Like, it was really cool. But Zero Hour was more of like an actual event. Like, it was like a warehouse. Right, Paris? What type of location was that?
I'm trying to let you talk because I have a whole story about Zero.
Okay, you know what? Paris, go.
But it was a hangar.
Okay, the hangar. Okay, go for it, Paris. Go for it. I know you were there.
Yeah, obviously this is 2005, and I remember when they started talking about the launch of the 360, and they were going to have this launch event, and there was this contest that you could enter to be able to go to the launch event, 0 Hour, it was in Palmdale, California, which is like out in the desert, like just kind of northeast of LA. And I entered the contest and I won. I was able to be one of the people to go in. So like I mentioned, I had a buddy that was in Texas. Hey, old school gamers, that was the dude.
Oh, old school gamers. Okay.
He won too, but then he couldn't come. So that's how I had the extra thing. But I had a local friend as well that was interested in it and wanted to go. So me and him went because maybe you could bring a guest or he won. I can't remember exactly. Yeah. But anyways, he went. So again, like you were talking about the hotel stuff. So this is Palmdale. We stayed at a Motel 6.
Really?
Just that's ghetto funny. As it could be. And it was like only maybe a mile or two away from the actual thing because it was an old like I don't know if it was military or what it was, but it was an airplane hangar, big giant hangar. Like if you ever go look at the pictures, like I posted a picture yesterday on social media of you could see the hangar doors or whatever, but they put us in this big giant aircraft hangar, and it was like you said, it was like this 48-hour event because we arrived on November 20th, like that afternoon, and then they kind of opened the gates up. I want to say like 8-9 o'clock that night. You could actually go in and start playing. So let's say 9 o'clock on the 20th, you could go in and they had every launch game there. And again, if you go see pictures, you see a picture of me sitting there, and I think I was playing Perfect Dark Zero or something like that. But you could play all the launch games essentially all night, all day of the 21st. And then at 9 o'clock, which would have been midnight on the East Coast, that's when they would start selling the 360 consoles, right? You could buy one, then you could leave and go home. They had, like I said, they had those hoodies, got the faceplate. There was an achievement you could get at 0 Hour that you cannot get anywhere else. So that's kind of one way to know who was actually there, because they would have that achievement. No one else can get that achievement. Then they had the white beanbag things. But again, if you look at the pictures, you'll see a ton of those. And I met Jay Allard. I met Peter Moore. I remember I was standing in line with Adam Sessler at the time, which was a big deal back then, with Adam Sessler, with X-Play and all that stuff. And I could be wrong, and I should ask him. I think Ryan McCaffrey was there. I seem to remember seeing Ryan McCaffrey because back then he was doing the OXM stuff.
Xbox 360 magazine.
Yeah. So pretty sure he was there, but you know, it's funny, like you said, cyber athlete, like looking back, like Fran, Maribel, like all these people that I know now, they're like, oh yeah, we're there. I'm like, oh crap. I'm just a random dude being there. I'm just a fan of gaming and got a chance to go. And like I said, me and my buddy, like we said, we got to look ghetto Motel 6. And I remember we went back in like the middle of the night, slept for like 2 or 3 hours and went right back. I mean, we were just like, cause we were just so excited to freaking be there. Like I said, play the games, the whole thing. And then at the very end, and I got a picture of that online too. You see all the Best Buy trucks. They were obviously partnering with the Best Buy for the retail stuff. The Best Buy trucks all rolled in. And then during the day, you actually could have purchased your 360. So everyone had already purchased their 360. You get like a ticket or whatever. So then when all the trucks was there, and I forget, it must have been Peter Moore or Jay Allard. I can't remember. They had like officially kicked it off, said some stuff. And then everyone was in line. You get your 360, and then we would leave. And I remember I drove back home, and you know, and that was it. And obviously hooked it up, playing all night at home as well. But to this day, of all the cool stuff that I've been able to do, that's still number one for me. It's still number one for me. I mean, hosting a showcase, flights, none of that stuff tops that for me, because that was such a surreal moment at that time to be able to get to play something early. You're meeting all these gaming personalities that I'd been watching or listening to or whatever, reading in a magazine. They're all there. We're playing all the launch games. Got the 360. And remember, this is when they update, because I remember we had to stand in line and you had to sign into something because you essentially had to transfer your original Xbox account over to the new 360 thing. And that's how we got that achievement and all that stuff. And we're like, again, some of the first people in the world to ever play a game on the 360 and have a yeah. So there's a picture there. Yeah. So yeah, you see all those white bean bags. So it's just, bro, it was amazing.
Crazy too.
Because even before, like I said, that night of the 20th, Jay and I have the picture where I have a picture where you see Jay Allard and Peter Moore, and they're like talking because they were like on this race thing, and they're talking to everyone in the crowd, and just everyone was just so excited to be there. And then those hangar doors like just slowly started opening. Yeah, that's this picture. Slowly start opening, and everyone just running in to go play. Bro, it was the freaking best, man. Like I said, it was the best fan event I've ever been to. Ever.
So these are the games. These are the games that I had right here. So Condemned, King Kong, Gun, NHL, and also NBA 2K, Call of Duty. So it was like Call of Duty. Which Call of Duty was this? It says Call of Duty. I can't remember which one.
It would have been Call of Duty 2.
Yeah. So this is Project Gotham Racing. I believe this was 3.
Yeah, that was PGR 3. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cameo, Quake 4, Ridge Racer 6, Perfect Dark 0.
Yep.
I bet that was the game that the line was long because people were just curious about Perfect Dark.
I can't remember. It was the first thing I played, and I don't feel like I waited to play it. I feel like I got on it right away. They had, dude, it was a ton of stations with all the different games to go. Yeah. If you go back, go back.
Yeah, like
that one right there. So as you can see, those are the hoodies. Those doors were like slowly opening up. And then, bro, everyone just ran.
Yo, you know that was a movie. That was a movie. People.
Oh my god, it was amazing, dude.
Were you in the front or the back when this happened?
Can't remember. Probably in the back, middle, somewhere.
Yeah, because you were mad shy. Like I don't want to be there. Yeah. So that's Jay Allard. The people that don't know. So he was one of the founders also of Xbox from the original Xbox. But I want to show something that I found. Let me get out of here because I don't want Paris to see this.
Oh my god!
To be surprised.
Oh my god!
But wait, that's a couple. But I'm going to show one that this was a very exclusive invite during 0 Hour. A lot of people don't know this, but we were there as Gamertag Radio. So, this is not the picture that I found, but for you, but it's for later. So this is, and actually you could go back.
Yeah, Cyber Athlete. Yeah.
Yeah, you could go back. You guys could go back.
Which one? It's not Tony. No, I'm thinking behind
him. I see Krista.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know this. So if you listen to one of the episodes that I released back in January for like the GTR Retro, you can hear this conversation. So there was one session, it was Peter Moore, another session, Jay Allard.
Is that Trixie?
And that's Trixie back there with the camera. Yeah. So here, people were just Q&A. It was like 15 minutes Q&A with the team, and talking about the Xbox 360. And here in one of the conversations, somebody asked like, "What happened to that commercial that came out during that time that was banned?" You remember the one with the one that was banned with the like this pointing and everything, right? People were playing games. I think it was like was it a station, a train station, or something? I can't remember. But it was a bunch of people, and they were going bang, 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 bang. It was part of, like, to promote Xbox 360, and that commercial got banned, and they talked about it and everything, and so on. So, yeah, it was a really cool era, man. Like, this was, like, so cool to see that, and also being part of that era, So, now, I'm going to find something that I just found.
Oh, my God. I can't wait. I want to see this.
Paris has no idea what I'm about to show.
I have no idea. I can't wait.
Where is it? Okay. Let me see if you remember this.
Let's see. Holy, you know what? Yes.
You remember this.
That's the speed round stuff.
The speed round.
E3 2007 in Santa Monica, because Peter Moore was a part of this as well. And Brian he's at 343 or Halo now, but Bungie, he was also doing it along with Frankie.
Frankie,
I remember.
Now, a lot of people are asking, like, what the hell speed into? What is it? So you got to explain to people that don't know exactly what we were doing at this time.
So at E3 2007, they did for the community, they had like people, content creators or whatever. They did what was called the speed round interviews, where as you see all these people sitting at a table, so different people from Xbox would come sit down at a table with you, and you would have, I don't even remember how long it was. It was like a few minutes or whatever. And you could just talk about whatever. So like when I bring up Brian Gerard and Frankie, we sat down and we're obviously talking about Halo 3 because Halo 3 was about to come out. Peter Moore, we're just talking about everything Xbox. If I remember correctly, wasn't this the dude that was in charge of games for Windows?
No, Jeff Bell was basically the head of Xbox at that time, because it was after.
No, Peter Moore was the head of Xbox.
No, but Peter Moore left, and then he
was there.
Over.
I mean, at this time, he's still the head of Xbox.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's Jeff Bell?
That's Jeff Bell.
That's not Jeff Bell, is it?
I still follow Jeff, man. Like, I'm so
really?
cool. Yeah.
Because I remember, I thought the first time I met Jeff Bell.
Shane Kim was the one that he was Shane Kim he was like was what Bad Booty's doing now. Like,
right. Because I remember Jeff Bell. We hung out at CES. It would have been like that January after this. So CES 2008, because that's when I first met Pete. And that's when we did the infamous In and Out with Major Nelson, exclusive and all that. Excuse me. But I did meet the head of games for Windows. I want to say his name was Kevin something. And he was a part of this too.
It's been so long.
Look, this is what happened when you go back 20 years.
Yeah. It's because here's the thing. I think what happened, Jeff Bell took over after Peter Moore left. Remember, Peter went to EA.
Yes.
And then Jeff took over his position.
Yes.
Like it was like that at that time. Yeah, man. But so let me find another. Bro, I found so much stuff. I'm actually going to show you something. Let me see if I find it here. Is it here? Give me 1 second. So I just put E3 Xbox, and there was like tons of pictures. Tons of pictures, man.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can find a good one, man. Let me see. I found like some random, cause like 06 was a pretty big time for Xbox, because they it was a year after the launch of the 360. There were so many events. I felt like Microsoft was investing a lot of money.
Yeah, 06, I went to the Gears of War launch event. I think that was the first big thing I ever went to.
What's in Halo?
Hollywood.
Oh, it came out before Halo. I forgot. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So let me see. Hold up. I'm trying to. Sorry, you could say anything you want, Paris. Like, I'm trying to look for some pictures.
Oh, what are you looking for? I mean, man, just going back to that time, it was just so special, because remember, 360 was the first one to go to HD. We had the wireless controllers that we got. It was just such a transformative time, I think, for console gaming, that, like I said, to say that I was at the launch event for that was just special. That's funny. Which E3 is that?
I can't remember which E3. Let me see.
Oh, isn't that
E3?
No, that's not Santa Monica. That's not, because we're inside.
E3 2013.
2013. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so then this is when I officially was a part of Gamertag Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been the first E3 I was a part of Gamertag Radio.
This was still 360 era.
So this is the Xbox One launch. Reveal, I should say. It was 2013.
But we were still in the 360 era and everything. Yeah. Bro, this is a classic. Look, that's you.
That's Santa Monica. Yeah.
That's that. So I'm here with my little camera. I can zoom. With my little camera, and Paris is there. This is when I started streaming the press conference of the Xbox 360 during the Santa Monica. People were like, yo, how the hell you have internet? And nobody had internet. Everyone was having issues. at that time. IGN, GameSpot, all the big outlets have, and I was the only one with internet because I was using my friend's, I don't know, Wi-Fi, whatever he had over there at that time. And we broadcast the whole press conference. This is where Peter Moore was on stage and was showing Rock Band for the first time, and he messed up. He paused the game.
Yep.
And everything. So, yeah, man, this was cool. Now, Paris, let me ask you this, man. Like, what was at that time the most okay? This is not your favorite game, but you feel like it was the most important game for the Xbox 360 at that time.
Gears of War.
Gears of War. Why is that?
Because that was one of the first games they showed at the initial MTV reveal that you did your little podcast stuff. That's when I first got into game.
It wasn't there. Was it?
No,
there?
you remember because they taped it early, and you got
PMS guy. No, I'm talking about Gears. Did they show that? I don't remember.
They show Gears at that MTV reveal. Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember.
I vividly remember that. But anyways, my point on that one is, I remember just thinking, because remember graphically, just everything that they were showing, like, oh my God, this is next gen. This is crazy. Like, oh my God, I can't wait. And that was the year after the launch that it came out, and it just shaped that entire console generation for them, because that was the first true, in my opinion, the first true next generation game that we got was Gears of War. And it was on that, and you could only play it on Xbox 360. Because remember, at that it would have been E306. And again, I'm still a scrub at this point, so I'm still sneaking in. Remember, I can't remember who it was. I don't remember if it was X-Play or whoever, but remember they was asking Cliffy B, why isn't it on PlayStation 3? Why is it only on Xbox? And he was like getting all annoyed by it. I always remember that. But I remember being at E3 that year, and I guess it was NVIDIA. It must have been the NVIDIA booth. They had the PC version of Gears of War running, and I remember seeing that, and I just thought, oh my God, games will never look this good ever. This is the best they're ever going to look. I just thought it was so amazing. So to me, that was the most important, because I think it set the tone for that generation. I think if it isn't Gears of War, it has to be Halo 3. But we didn't know about Halo 3 until, I guess it would have been 06, right? 06 is when they first teased it. Yeah. They first teased it in 06.
I have a video actually where they show the trailer of Halo 3. But here's the thing though, Paris. I think for me it was Halo 3, the most important one, because that was the game that had one of the best marketings I've seen of any first party game.
Oh yeah.
Like it was everywhere.
That whole Believe campaign, damn near put a tear to your eye, man.
Yeah. Now, best trailer I think was Gears of War. The best
Mad
World. That was like even the song was top of the charts on like iTunes at that time and everything like that, you know. But I also think and I know this is not a first party, but at that time it was like a big deal. BioShock, man. BioShock when it came out.
I will never forget the Major Nelson podcast where they talked about it, and then the demo was out.
Yeah, I was listening to the podcast. And he said the demo is out right now. During the interview, I'm like, wait, what? And
what?
I went.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Yeah, that was that was cool. Now, another game I thought was very important because of what it did for essentially RPGs and cutscenes and conversations and games was Mass Effect. Remember that? Those cinematic back and forth conversations, Shepard talking to whoever, and it was like a goddamn movie. It seemed like that. I remember that they first showed that in 2006 as well. At that E3 was when BioWare, and remember back then, Mass Effect and BioShock was actually exclusive to the 360.
Oh yeah, it was. It was. Yeah, and actually, I remember seeing Mass Effect behind closed door for the first time. Like, this looks
crazy,
cool.
crazy.
That was cool.
And then I went to the event for it, like right before it came out in 07 as well, up at BioWare. Wow, bro! I thought that was just the greatest thing ever, man.
Yeah, what was the? I'm trying to think of another game that was pretty big at that.
Oh,
time.
I can tell you the one, and I've told the story a million times.
Yeah, what's up?
Going to Infinity Ward and seeing Modern Warfare multiplayer for the very first time before anybody at that event.
You're right.
And that's when they did the kill streak. That was I mean, think about it. It changed multiplayer to this very day. Was that game at that time when it came out in 2007. And I'll never forget when, I've obviously told the story with Gamer Andy and all that crazy stuff. But
yeah.
I just always remember internally they were calling it Call of Duty 3. But then Activision had Treyarch make World at War, which became Call of Duty 3. So then it became Call of Duty 4 and was Modern Warfare. But bro, that was insane seeing that back then.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, that was huge, man. Huge. And let me ask you this. And I know we didn't like it, but there was potential in there. Connect at that time. Like I know what they were trying to do, and there was some good stuff, but there was like a lot of like, this is like a waste, But
it's funny for everything that the Wii did back then when it came out, and obviously, let's be honest, save Nintendo,
No.
It didn't force, but then you had Microsoft and Sony pivot into this motion control stuff. And I thought they got away from what was most important about gaming, because Kinect, and then obviously you had the PlayStation Move. I didn't need none of that. I'd have been fine if you never came out with any of it. And my whole thing was, as much as I liked the tech of what Kinect was doing was, and we've talked about this a million times, it was never going to be mass adoption unless, which is what they tried to do with the Xbox One, they could guarantee that Kinect thing was with every console. But then they charged too much because as a result, and here we are today. I think Kinect did more damage to Xbox than anything that they've done in their now almost 25-year history. Because think about how on a roll the 360 was at that time, man.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about all these games, and then they followed up. You had the Mass Effect 2s, Gears of War 2s, you had Ghost Recon, Assassin's Creed. Like, the 360 was the box. That was the box. You want to go play a console game. Sure, the PlayStation 3 was out there, and they obviously rebounded and all that. I'm not taking away from that. Obviously, Uncharted, amazing experiences like that were on that machine. Mm-hmm. But the 360 was it in that 05 to 2010 era. They had about a 5-year run where that was the box. The biggest and best games were on that box. That's where you went to play. Because think about it, we just said we're exclusive. Mass Effect was exclusive. Halo 3 was exclusive. Like on down the line. Crackdown was even something that came out, was underrated, but actually that first one was pretty darn good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Orange Box was on there. There were so many dope games that were on that 360. And then they pivoted into that Kinect stuff and the avatars and all that. I'm like, I don't need it. I don't need this. I don't care.
Don't need that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this one, you had this console? 'Cause I think they gave you one of these, right?
Well, again, we telling stories. So remember, I went to Xbox for the Halo 3 launch. Because remember, I met Bill Gates and all that kind of stuff. And they gave us that Xbox 360 when we left, because they had the big community event. So I had, I don't have any more, but I had that Halo 3 Xbox 360. Yeah.
This one, can you change the faceplate on this one too, or no? I don't remember, because I know that was a time that they stopped it.
I don't think you can. I don't think you could have.
Okay.
I think it was hard coded onto it.
Because a lot of people don't remember this, but there was 2 versions of the 360 at the time. There was like I'm trying to remember how big was the hard drive size. I can't remember.
Well,
there was one that was cheaper.
They had you could get the, what was it, 360 core, and it didn't come with a hard drive at all. And I think the first hard drive 20 gigabytes, and then they had a 60. I think that's what it was.
20 gigs. That's
nothing. Yeah.
Think of it like that now.
But you could get that core one, and then that was why Xbox Live Arcade had a size limit, because it had to fit on the memory card. Remember, you could put the memory card in. It had to fit on a memory card, because again, they could not guarantee every 360 had a hard drive out there. Again, that's something I think, looking back, they probably should just have had a hard drive with every 360. I think that would have changed a lot too.
Yeah, it's similar to what they did with the original Xbox. Every console had a hard drive included in there, you know. But I think there was just different reasons why they did that too, Parry, because they wanted to compete against PlayStation. So they're like, let's keep it as cheap as possible and come off first. You know?
Remember, PlayStation had lost their mind back then and was like, you got, not Kaz Hirai, who was it? Ken Kutaragi telling people, y'all, you need to go get a second job.
Yeah, that was
like
not smart.
$600 for a PlayStation 3. Think about it. Back then, $600 for a PlayStation 3. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Back then. I mean, now it's even crazy. So imagine back then how crazy that was.
Yeah. That was, damn, thinking about it, I'm like, yo, that's nuts, man.
Yeah.
That is nuts. Now, another question I was going to ask you. The dashboard. I remember the dashboard at that time was so iconic. The blades and everything, right? And I remember when it first launched, you couldn't download anything in the background. You had to stay on that blade. Just stay there until it finishes downloads. Like, it was annoying as hell. But then in the future, like, you know, months later, there was an update. Like, you could have that in the background. You could start down. I was like, oh, thank God, this is even better now. But that's the thing. Like, the blades at the time, loved the dashboard. I know the Xbox One dashboard came out. A lot of people was not happy with it. I mean, now it looks like we're used to it now with how it is now. But at that time, people loved that dashboard, man. I loved it so much. It was easy to find games, easy just to browse. It wasn't confusing. It wasn't like a lot of pop-ups or anything like that. But yeah, go ahead.
Hey, you just reminded me of something. So back then, Danny and I were both Xbox MVPs, right? That was like the whole community thing that they did. So I think you know where I'm going with this.
Yes.
So remember when they updated the dashboard on the 360, they changed it from the blades to the thing. And that was around 08, I think, up in there somewhere, 09 or whatever it was. Anyways.
To promote Connect, right? To promote Connect?
I can't remember.
It was Avatar. It was avatars.
Yeah, the Avatar thing and all that. But anyways, they updated the dashboard. And I remember as MVPs, we got early access to it, right? But they specifically told us, you cannot talk about this. You can't do anything. We're just giving it to you until a certain date. The media, the press was different. There was an embargo and then they could talk about it. Take it from there, sir.
So I knew that was happening. I knew. And before they even sent out the preview of the dashboard early, I contacted Microsoft for the media side. Hey, I would like to cover this on the podcast, all this stuff. Like, how can I have access to this? And they gave me access to it. They were like, yeah, Danny, we got you. Boom. They gave it to me. This is even before you got it. I got it before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but at the same time, because I was part of the MVP program, I told the team, like, hey, I got it in a different way. I got it from the media side. It was not because of the program. I want you to understand that. I don't want no confusion or anything like that, right? So I posted the video of my dashboard preview, whatever, you know, and there was members of the MVP like, oh, if Danny talks about it, I can talk about it too. And they got kicked out of the program because that was not my fault. I told the team ahead of time. And honestly, Paris, that was the reason why I left the MVP program. Like, you know what? I really don't need this. Like, I don't need it. I told them I prefer to give somebody that's up and coming, that's passionate about gaming, passionate about, you know, the brand. Hey, give it to them. You know, let them do their thing, you know, and somebody that also could provide feedback to make the product better. Not this whole everything is great, you know. So, because that was one thing about us, Paris. We will always, I remember that a lot of people were afraid to say anything, and we were the only ones like, nah, we shouldn't do that. You guys should do this, do that. Like, we will always provide feedback because we're like, no, that it sucks. People are gonna say like negative things about it, you know. But
do you remember? And this is vague. I don't even remember what the topic was about, but I remember we were at an E3. This again, 08, 09, up in there somewhere.
Yeah,
and we went to this thing with Major Nelson. And it was like this big panel thing. There was all these different community people. I want to say media people might have been there too. I can't remember.
It was during the Santa Monica.
Me, you, and Trina were all sitting together. right?
Yeah, for those who don't know, Trina was also created at that time. She doesn't do this anymore.
Yeah, it's not anymore. Yo, we were like the only ones. Just like we just kept bringing up like, well, what about this? What about that? And we were like the only, like everyone else was like being all shy. I'm like, I ain't being shy. I'm trying to ask. This is the opportunity to do that. But to your point about the MVP thing, and I brought up that moment because I remember, like you said, some people got in trouble, and I wasn't trying to laugh at the people who got in trouble and they got kicked out because that's unfortunate. But it was that confusion of, especially back then, quote unquote, community versus are you media, community, like what the hell? There was such a weird boundary on that where you would get certain things directly from Xbox PR, but then you would get some things from community. And if they ever overlapped, what were you allowed to talk about? What couldn't you talk about? So like you had left, and I remember I had left like once you left, I think I left like shortly after or whatever too. I was like, because I'd be better off not being a part of that so I can openly talk about stuff that we want to talk about. But yeah, those were like, I'm thankful for the MVP program from back then because that opened up so many doors and you got to meet so many different people, not only at Xbox, but I remember like EA, Ubisoft, all that stuff because of that program. But then we had grown to the point where it was just like, nah, I'd be better off. To this day, I don't even know what the hell you call us because we're not media creator or whatever the hell, right? But versus being a part of that because it really limited what we could do, and what we could talk about. So, yeah, again, those are such wild times back then, man.
Yeah, Wild West.
I wouldn't trade it for nothing. Because it is so different now versus what it was back then. But very appreciative of getting those opportunities back then.
I found a picture.
Oh, my God.
You probably remember this one.
Okay.
You probably remember this. So, actually, hold on a second. Before I show it, hold up.
Uh-oh.
The picture I'm about to show you relates to an event. And this was an event called C3 at E3 2005.
Yes. I remember that.
So I was number 109. There was a lot of people here. So for those who don't know, they only made like 3 of these. So this was Fan Fest at that time, where they have this is C3 at E3 2006, and this is the last one, 2007.
Yeah,
then
and
after that, it was
I went to the last one. Yeah,
yeah. So I went to all 3 of them. And for those who don't know, it's like Xbox will have after E3, Xbox will invite people that are already there at E3 come to the booth after hours, and you go in and you stay inside the Xbox booth area. You get to play the games, you get to meet the devs, you get to meet the execs, everything, right? So I went. This was my first time going to E3, right? I'm trying to talk to everybody from other companies. Every company was ignoring me. The only company that was actually giving me access and wanted to talk to me and everything was this one right here. Actually, no, this was 2006. My bad. This was 2006. So now a year later, now a lot of more companies know me because now podcasting was like a bigger thing at that time now. So this moment right here was a very important Do you remember this? You probably don't remember this.
Yeah, because you've talked about this before. I remember you showing me Miss Irie.
So, yeah, there's Miss Irie. So she was part of the team when I first launched the show. Shout out to her. So this is the first time I actually meet Peter Moore. The first time. And if you look at my hand, I'm giving Peter Moore at this moment when this picture was taken, I'm giving him a business card, my business card. And people were like, why? I was very aggressive back then. I was like, yo, I'm going to do my thing, right? So I'm surrounded by a bunch of people. Everybody's, because look, that's something about me where, and I always been like this since a young kid, is I like to wear bright colors. And the reason why I like to wear bright colors, it stands out. Mm-hmm. People will notice you a lot more, right? So it's like everybody has a black shirt. Everybody has those not bright colors. But on purpose, I was wearing a green. Look, I'm not even a fan of the Celtics, and I was wearing a hat of the Celtics right here. It was all green, right? So I stood out a lot, right? So Peter Moore came up to me. I was like one of the first people that he comes up to when he gets her. and I'm giving him the business card. Now, you see that guy with a red shirt and behind? He's looking at it, not happy about it. He's like, yo, hating. At that time, we're cool now, but at that time, like there was a group of people that they were like, why Danny gave a business card to Peter Moore?
Yeah, I see.
Peter Moore's not going to remember him. Peter Moore's not going to remember Danny. He's not going to remember him at all. So a lot of people were just dissing me and all that stuff, right? But I'm like, oh no, Peter Moore's going to remember me. I guarantee you, right? Months later, I go and I get invited to my first actual event. They flew me to the Xbox headquarters, right?
That's the one that changed it all for me. That was the one I saw you at.
Yeah. So I go over there and I bring my equipment. Because at that time I didn't have a portable device. It was like I bring the mixer, the mics, the stand. I brought like my whole studio in the event, right? And we were there. It's for like the Lord of the Rings Battle of something. Uh-huh. It was a Lord of the Rings game. There was like an RTS game for the first time for the 360, right? So we had that event. And I'm there, and Peter Moore goes there, and he's like, I remember you. You were the one with the lid, with the hat at the event. I'm like, yep. And we sat down. We did an interview. It was like a Q&A roundtable, and I put that audio up. Yo, every outlet talked about it because at that time, Peter Moore was talking about like. He was basically dissing the Wii, like, the motion controls and all this stuff, the controller. So he was dissing that, and he was saying why people should, play Xbox 360 or something like that. I can't remember exactly. And that went viral. That audio went everywhere. I remember the One Up Show, an iconic podcast at the time. Luke Smith, everybody was talking about it, about that audio with me and Peter Moore and everything. And ever since that picture, we became cool. Like every time Peter sees me, he gives me a shout out. He will always give me access. Like, hey, Danny, come, I got you. He will, but it was this moment giving him that business card, that stood out, and he remembers it to this day. He remembers that, Well,
I mean, that's the thing about Peter Moore. Dude got a memory like an elephant. He remembers everybody.
My memory's terrible.
It's crazy. It's crazy how you remember stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, was there a moment for you, Paris, that you feel like, ever since then, people remember me at that, like ever since that person or whoever? Was there a moment in that era of the 360 that everybody remembers you? Even before you started with GTR, I think you were like Uncle Gamer or anything like that. Was there a big moment for you?
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know.
Really? There got to be something. Because you were always everywhere. You were always connecting with people.
I mean, I remember the first time I went to Xbox for that Crackdown event in 2007. And again, I hadn't even been podcasting for a year. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm sure Uncle Gamer was terrible back then. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I just remember, like you said, a business card. I remember I had business cards and I've handed them out to all these people. And I remember, meeting Major Nelson. There's that video, if you go search it, where I'm playing Guitar Hero and screwing it up.
Oh, yes. I remember that.
But, meeting everyone at Gamerscore blog and getting the tour of Xbox. E gave us that tour. I just remember I clearly made an impression back then because, I knew this was my opportunity, to try and stand out. And I always laugh about that event because your name came up 1,000 times during that event. You ain't even there. You might as well have been there. Your name had come up so much.
Why my name came up at that time? I don't remember
because,
why.
Like you just said, you were aggressive. You were very aggressive with stuff. So it was like, I can't remember the exact conversations, but I just remember like Tony and all those guys would just laugh like, yeah, and Danny Pena and blah, blah, blah. And got me like, it's just, you just kept coming up. I always remembered it because back then we weren't like super tight or anything. I knew you, but we weren't super tight. But I just remember your name just coming up 1,000 times. Yeah, I don't know what the moment would have been. I just felt like I just kept getting lucky, and I was always at cool stuff back then. Because, like I said, I went to that Gears of War launch event, and then I went to Crackdown. Then I went to the Modern Warfare thing. Oh, because you and I actually hung out. Because we met because they did the Medal of Honor event was like right after that.
Airborne.
in LA.
Medal of Honor Airborne.
Yeah, and we met at that. But then they did I went to Infinity Ward. Then they did the whole multiplayer reveal in Hollywood. I remember going to that, met a bunch of people, hanging out with that stuff. And then it was like, I remember I got hooked up with EA at the time because I remember I went to Tiburon and saw NCAA at that time, Madden, PGA. Bro, there was so much. Like, it is insane how much. You know what the moment was? I know what the moment was. Now that you mention it, I know what it was.
Okay.
And you were slightly involved in this. Remember when I told you I got the interview with Ken Levine?
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
And to tell the story about that, this would never happen today. I just emailed 2K and said, "Hey, I want to interview Ken Levine," and they said,
and they say, "Yeah, no credentials, nothing."
Bro, that would never happen today, never. And I've told the story about how I did it at work, and I was in a meeting room, and I was just praying to God no one opened the door. I was in there doing it, but you were the one that said, "Yo, you got to say it's exclusive," because it was.
Yes.
No one else had did it at the time. And I remember that just went around everywhere, that interview I did, because it was really, because you bring up the one up, show one up yours. I remember John Davidson and Luke and Garnett, they were talking about that interview I did on there. So I think that kind of was the moment when it happened, because that was what really blew up. What was that interview? Bro, I was so excited for that game. I was so prepared to be able to talk with Ken. He was just super cool talking about it. So, but yeah, bro, that would never happen today.
Never happen.
Ever.
Yeah. Well, I found another picture.
Oh, my God.
That is pretty dope.
Okay.
Let me see. I could put it here. Paris, remember this.
Okay.
Before Twitch, before YouTube started last year. That's your hand.
Yeah.
So we got invited to this party during the Xbox 360 era. This is the first time where this was Game for Windows. So, Xbox is now putting games now, PCs and all that stuff. So that was like branding everywhere, right? So we go to this event. And this is the event to chill, to drink, to hang out, network. I was like, no, I'm creating content. So, I put a laptop at somewhere in the event next to a TV. You see this, a TV right here next to the computer, where people will sit down and actually either play games or whatever. I can't remember. And you probably don't see this, but there's a little camera that's called Xbox Vision. So this was like a camera that you could attach. It's like a webcam. Think about it. You could attach that to your 360, and you could see other players when you play like Uno and other games and stuff, right? So this also worked on PC. So I will connect it to the PC, and I'm streaming to this. There was this service at this time that's the same service I used when the press conference happened. I was using it. It was called livestream.com, and I was live streaming the party, and I had like a little microphone. Paris was there, so a lot of people will come up to me to do an interview and say hi to everybody that was watching the live stream at that time. Some things I recorded it, and some things I couldn't, because it just got damaged, the files, so I couldn't. So one interview I couldn't convert it to audio was Cliffy B at that time. He was, at that time we were talking about Gears and all that stuff. But here I had Peter Moore, Peter Molyneux, everybody, Jeff Bell, drunk, spoiling what happened with the Harry Potter book series, the Harry Potter book 4, I think it was, or something like that. Bro, it was an iconic event, iconic. So here is Peter Moore, and that's Paris right here next to me. You were still doing Uncle Gamer at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was doing Uncle Gamer, yeah.
This is another thing. This is Pete's house. We're celebrating, I can't remember I think it was like 4 years of GTR. I can't remember. Okay, so this one is Cliffy B. You see Miss Irie back there, me. Oh, remember the JB?
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. I know there was a couple other ones that was actually at the event. Okay, I think.
Yeah, isn't that the one where I'm in the? Oh, that's not the one. There's one where you're got that same pose with Cliffy, and I'm in the background just looking angry.
Yeah. So that's Shane Kim. Shane Kim used to be what Matt Booty's doing now.
Yep.
So he was leaving right after this E3. He left and everything. And I remember one of the questions that Paris said, You guys are releasing too many games at the same time. He's like, that's fine. Not everybody are gonna buy everything. People like genres, so if they like RPGs, because remember that time was Blue Dragon, Lost Odyssey. It was like a lot. I was like, Jesus, it's a lot of games. So
wait, go back. Yeah,
so right here,
in the background. Look
Paris was just I don't know what was up with Paris at this time. But he was just like grilling, like, but wait, there's more. Paris was not thrilled with my interviews. Hold up, there's more. Look, not happy. Hold up. There's more.
And I remember I came straight from work. Like, I'm just wearing my work clothes. Just went straight there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because remember, I worked in Orange County at the time, so I just drove up.
Yeah. Paris was like, he was everywhere, man. Yeah. But I appreciate that, man, because, like, I think one of the things that I loved about at that era is it was like a Wild Wild West.
Oh, yeah, it was,
where,
man.
where, like you said, people didn't know if we were media or what, because it was so new at that time. It was so new. Nobody else was doing it, and if people were doing it, it was very small. Bloggers was popular at this time.
Yep.
Bloggers, not podcasts. Podcasts.
When was it?
Yeah.
YouTube had only existed for a year. Because wasn't YouTube 06? And then when YouTube came around? So, I mean, think about it. This is how early days it was. There wasn't a lot of video content out there, that was, quote unquote, creator made, fan made, or however you want to say it. So a lot of it was just audio, man. So, like, the fact that Danny was doing a live stream in 2007, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, nobody was doing that at that time. Nobody. Now, I remember there's a couple of things too. Like, people don't remember this, but I remember when Kinect was coming out. Miyamoto went to the Xbox booth just to see. He was just curious, and he was seeing the way how you play Kinect, because, bro, everybody was copying Nintendo at that time. Everybody. So,
yeah, and that's what I was saying before. I almost feel like that was to the detriment of the industry at the time. Everyone was trying to do what Nintendo did with the Wii instead of just sticking to what they did best.
All right, here's another picture.
Uh-oh.
You probably remember this.
Yeah.
The iconic Xbox 360 community bus. So a lot of people don't know this. So it was Game Over Score blog. They were part of the community team at that time. They decided to, like, hey, let's have a station. Not everybody could go to the media lounge. They could come over here, and we'll have Wi-Fi. We have, drinks, food. People can hang out. We have AC. They could even play some games, and they can hang out here. And everybody will go here to hang out. It was right outside of the entrance of the E3. We will go here all the time for that week just to upload content from there.
And they did it at CES as well.
Oh, the same bus?
No, it was different colors, but it was the same concept.
Yeah. So this is like a big. I remember this was like a big thing. There's a video if you look up on, if you go on YouTube, there's a video of like Major Nelson introducing, like, hey, this is the community bus, hey, and all this stuff. So, it was really cool going to there to that. I'm trying to think of, was there anything big at that time like this? Because there was a time that Xbox during the 360 era, it was like towards the end when Don Matrick was still in charge. There was not a lot of investment on community stuff. Like they started cutting that down because they were already on top. Remember they got
rid of Gamerscore blog, all that. I feel like after 2010 is when it really changed for community.
Yeah, it was even hard for us to get any type of appointments. I'm like, yo, why are they doing this? I remember if you were like a big outlet, IGN, GameSpot, MTV at the time were covering games. I remember there was like a couple of things. Kotaku. If you were Game Informer, if you were at that level, you have access to Xbox. Community, no access at all. I'm like, yo,
no.
Why did they change? And I couldn't figure it out. And then I'm thinking at the time, like, could it be? It's like, yo, we're already big enough. We don't need them anymore. Like that's how I felt at that time.
And all the years are fumbled together, but I remember a year. It was whenever Project Gotham Racing 4 was coming out, whatever year that was. to your point, because I remember that was a pain point, a frustration point. We could never get. Excuse me, I'm sorry. We could never get access into behind closed door stuff for Xbox on the interview things at E3. We're always was shut out from it. And Gamerscore blog that one year did a thing where they set up all those different games and stuff that they were showing behind closed doors. They had a thing where we could go and get access to it. Because I just vividly remember Project Gotham Racing 4. That was how I got to see that and play that via that way. But to your point, and it was just, there was such a weird disconnect between, oh, your community, so you're over here, and then media, you're over here, and all that. And we were just better off saying, all right, we're going to do more on the quote unquote media side or whatever the hell you want to call it. And we got more access to, because remember the infamous Gears of War 2 party that we snuck into was that very thing. All the media people were there, but we had to, because we were community, we didn't get invited, but we just bullied our way in and went anyways.
I mean, there was people in there looking at us like, yo, how the hell they got in?
How you get in there?
Man, aggressive since day one. Now, I remember also Paris. Damn it, I forgot now. Damn it, Jesus Christ! And I know it was during that time too. Oh, now I remember. So there was one year where Xbox, they all usually invite people, right, to go to the press conference and everything like that. And we noticed a lot of people didn't get invited.
I know what you're gonna say. Yeah.
Only certain people got, like, very small group. It was like less than 100. I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on? Like, why? Usually when we go to an Xbox E3 press conference, that's like thousands of people in there. Like, it's big, huge. But now it's 100. Nobody couldn't figure out what it was, right? So we're there. And there's videos online somewhere. You'll find it, like, on YouTube or anything like that. But we're there, and Don Matrick was on stage, talking about all the stuff coming up. And, yo, he's on stage. And he goes, by the way, we have I think, was it called Xbox 360 Elite? Was it the Elite? I'm trying to remember. It was like black.
It was the redesigned 360s when they redesigned it. Yeah, whatever that was called. I can't remember.
And he goes, everybody that's here is going to get one to take home. We were like, wait, what? I remember I'm sitting next to Paris, and I got up, and Paris got up, and we started laughing.
Yeah, if you watch that Xbox showcase, we were literally, because I remember everyone was messaging, "Oh, we saw you on the thing." You see us because we're right up front. Because we're sitting with what was his name? He was from Epic, Mark. Oh crap, I'm forgetting his name, but he was like the head of Epic or something at the time.
Oh, he was sitting next to us. Oh, snap.
Yeah, it was him. Was not Cliff. Cliff wasn't with us, but it was someone else big. It was him and someone else was sitting with us up front. And we stood up.
Mark something. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know
what
exactly
I'm talking about. Yeah. But if you go back and watch that, you see us. We're like, ah!
What year was that?
I feel like it had been 2010, right? That was 2010.
I don't remember. But here's the thing. So now the show ended, right? So now we had to go and get our badge scanned.
Yep.
Right. And I'm thinking in my head, no way. This can't be true. Like, I had the same exact feeling in 2001 when they told me that I was going to get an original Xbox for free. I'm like, no, there's no way. It's impossible. This is expensive. Why were they going to give me something? So, like, I'm like, look, I'm just going to wait and see. And I remember I get scanned, and they go, thank you. And I thought I was going to get the console there, but it was actually they were going to send it.
Yeah, they sent it to you, yeah.
Yeah. So it was like a week later we got it, and I'm like, "Yo, this is crazy. This sound is dope. Like it's pretty cool." But yeah, man, it was very controversial, man, because they were like, "Oh, look at that! All the media is getting free stuff and so on."
Yeah, so it was a sneak peek into where we are in 2025.
I mean, but here's the thing: they've been doing that for a long time. I remember. Here's the most controversial one. I remember this one. I wasn't there, but I remember being from the outside and reading the forums and all that stuff where 360 was coming out that year. It was 05. I still have GTR and everything. And they had, was it GDC? They had like a special panel, something with Xbox. So when you go in, there's a group. Everybody had like a different color, and everybody was kind of confused. Like, wait, my color is blue, my color is red, my color is green. So if you're in that group, you have to sit with that group in certain areas in there, right? So they did like a raffle, and whatever color pops up, everybody got a brand new Samsung HD TV at that time, because they partner, I remember, Samsung and Xbox to promote HD gaming for the 360. And when that happened, bro, it was controversial too, because we were getting free TVs and all that stuff, you know. So yeah, but here's the thing: we were not at that time. We were like, yo, we're not media. We're not like an actual like journalist, you know. But now things are changed where they do see us as media, but sometimes they see us as a creator. I don't know. It's
weird how it goes. But like one thing you're bringing up that moment with the redesigned 360. I mean, part of the reason they did that was Red Ring of Death, because they had to redesign the 360 because the original design kept failing, right? And what was it, $1 billion or whatever? If you go back and think about it, Xbox could have gone away right then and there if Steve Ballmer did not sign off on that to invest into repairing all those things. I remember, I want to say I had to send mine back like 3 times with the Red Ring of Death.
I tell you what was the first one. Do you remember your first one?
What the
your
first time
Red Ring?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What was it that you were playing or
Perfect Dark Zero?
Wow, that was that early for you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was
snap!
Early. Yeah.
I'll tell you my first one. I'm watching CES, and there was a live press conference, and it was Bill Gates on stage, and it was like something big with EA. And they come on stage, and they're like, "You can download Fight Night Round 3, I think it was called, right now on the Xbox Marketplace." And I go and I download it, and I launch. I'm like, "Yo, this looks the graphics. This is next gen. This is amazing." I'm there playing. You see, I turned it on. It was red. I'm like, "What is this? I've never seen this before." And I go online, and I see other people also talking. I'm like, "Oh no!" So I send mine. It took a bit. I think I said something somewhere, and somebody from the team saw it, and they rushed it so I could get the 360 back. But yeah, it was happening more and more. I know there was the towel trick. You remember the towel trick?
Yeah,
you could put it in your console, and it will warm it.
All those things, yeah.
Yeah. So one of the people that came up with that trick posted on a blog, and it went viral. A lot of media sites also posted it, but they were not giving them credit. I can't remember the name, but it was like something big at that time. Now, here's something that also happened at that time. I don't know, remember this, Paris. There was an actual fan that came up with an app that you could download podcasts and listen to your Xbox console. Do you remember that? You're probably not going to remember.
I don't remember that. No.
So there was this guy that came up with an app. You put it on your PC, and it will connect with the 360, and the 360 and the app will automatically download podcasts. And while you're playing a game, you can listen to podcasts. So he came up with that, and there was an era where that app was shutting down podcasts because it was downloading so many audio, the bandwidth just through the roof, and it completely crashed like people's sites and everything like that, man. So I remember that was like a big thing too. And I'm trying to think, there was one more thing that was pretty big at that time. I'm trying to remember. Getting Netflix for the first time, and you do the movie night with your friends, and you're talking, and like that was pretty cool. And that was actually the first time a streaming service was added to the console. Was that during that time too? The 360.
Oh, bro! I again, Major Nelson podcast. I remember when he was showcasing the HD DVD and the King Kong thing. Remember the extension? I was like, bro, and I had it because I was so excited for that. And then I bought a bunch of HD DVDs and Blu-ray one. I was like, crap.
That didn't last that long. That didn't last that long. Oh my god! Yeah, man, I'm never gonna forget this time, man. Like it was
it was special, man. It was
very special, man. It was very, very special. I got to meet a lot of people, you know. And actually, wait, no, this is a small. I found another picture, but look, if you go to, and here's the thing, guys, if you go to Flickr.com, and you look Xbox E3, yo, there's tons. I'm talking about like 30,000, 40,000 pictures of all kinds from everybody there. And that's how I find like a lot of these old pictures. There's pictures of me in Paris that we have never seen before in this year. You know? So like there's pictures of us doing interviews, you know, behind the scenes and all that stuff, you know. So like,
well, like I would say being serious, I'm fond of that era because like obviously you and I wind up becoming really good friends during that time. And there's just so many memories. And it's not just you, obviously Pete and Mandy and just all these different people that we all met during that time when like it was a wild, wild west and nobody knew what they were doing. Nobody. I think people that you would be shocked in the positions that they are in today in gaming back then, like it was wild, wild west. And you just get to meet these people and, you know, friendships, acquaintances, all these things. But I wouldn't trade none of that for anything, man. It was such just a fun time. It was before social media turned into the chaos that it is now. And everybody was just excited about gaming, man. And we were just, it didn't matter if it was Xbox, PlayStation, whatever. You were just excited for all these new games to come out and to talk about them and have fun with your friends and all this new emerging technology was coming. Because again, when we were talking about the Netflix thing, I thought that was the coolest damn thing ever. Remember when they had it where we could do the watch parties together? Yeah, on Netflix, and then obviously some weird licensing there to take it away. But it was just cool stuff. Like I became a fan of 30 Rock because of Netflix, and you could stream it on the Xbox because I used to watch 30 Rock all the time on there. You know, it's just little stuff like that, man. That it was just amazing. It was just amazing. I remember, you know, being at that 2008. Spring showcase in San Francisco, like you talk about Shane Kim. And there's a picture, you probably find it somewhere. They did a round table, like rest in peace, Itagaki. I met Itagaki then, you know what I mean? And they were doing this whole, he's like a freaking rock star. Just his aura and his presence just being there, you know, and he's sitting there talking to all the fans and everything. I remember casually talking with Cliffy B at the time, or Cliff Blazinski, I'll say his full name, about Gears of War 2 at that event. Just little stuff like that, bro, that's not happening today. None of that stuff's happening today. The way they would do it, you know, it just would not happen at all. So I'm just so thankful.
I'm going to show one more picture, like I said. This is a cool moment for me. So Mandy and I, we went to E3. It was just only us two because a lot of people just didn't have the money to go. And it was E3 2010, and we stayed in Koreatown. I remember getting to Koreatown. We were like, "Oh, there's a Korean channel." We started watching. We didn't have no idea what they were saying, but we spent the whole day watching it, like that type of thing. But like it was really cool going there with Mandy. I was like taking care of her. She was really, really young at this time, and I was making sure that, you know, that nobody was like mess with her and anything like that, you know. So, but yeah, we will go to a lot, man. I remember at this time also Epic Mickey. If you see in the background, Epic Mickey was coming out for the Wii at that time too. That's like a bunch of other stuff. But this was a cool moment for us, like going to E3, just us two. And it was a lot of fun, man. But let me ask you this, Paris, before we wrap this up, because it's going to be almost an hour and a half. But I think I was going to ask you about this, like, what do you think is the differences at that time when it comes to the community? Not technology or anything like that, but community-wise at that time and today, the big difference of like what we have now with content creation, with just community overall, the difference, do you think, and something that you feel like is missing out of? Because back then everybody was just learning, right? At that time, we were learning more about the industry. Now more people are getting more access to like behind the scenes, right, and stuff like that. Now I feel it's different, of course. Like now we know, but I feel like I love meeting new people still to this day. But I also feel like there's a lot of things that gets left out because I feel like we're getting distracted with a lot of nonsense that it feels like we're not really focused on what's so special that gaming is about. Like you get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's like we're getting distracted on nonsense. And there was nonsense back then, but there was less of that back then, So,
I can tell you exactly what it is. Gaming is too big now and too lucrative. Think about it. Gaming back then was still, niche isn't the right word, but it was a lot smaller. It didn't have, excuse me, the global revenue impact that it does now. Whereas like now, if your game doesn't sell X amount of millions, you're considered a failure. Back then, you do anything, you're just fine. You could take more risks. You could do more things. I think these companies, because again, it was so early days and they were all still learning. There was a more heavy investment into community back then, right? A more hands-on approach to it. There was more budget that was invested into community to think about it. They used to have community events for these games. You don't see that stuff anymore, right? It wasn't about having some big influencer or creator come out or media. It was about, let's get the fans involved. And obviously Xbox continued doing fan fest and things like that over the years. But it was way, like you talk about the C3 at E3 thing. That was way more hands-on. That was way more intimate, where you can hand a business card to Peter Moore and have this conversation with him, right? PR, you didn't have the PR person just standing there the whole time staring, daggers into you, any and every question that they would say. I felt that those gaming executives had more freedom to talk about the things that were on their mind. They can't, bro, think about it. Phil can't talk about what he really wants to say. He can't. It's CNBC news now. It's financial things or whatever you say, right? That's what, they can't do that. That's why when you do see them now, it is definitely more curated and getting a specific message out versus them just being very casual about what they do. Gaming's just too big now. I mean, when you got Activision selling for $80 billion, that tells you everything you need to know, right?
Yeah.
It's everything that's changed with Xbox now and all the business stuff and the multi-platform things. What is it about? Margins, 30%. Money. It's money. Back then, it wasn't about money. Back then, they were trying to create something new. They were trying to do something different. Peter Moore, obviously, when he was on with us, was that last year or whenever that was?
Oh, it was March.
Yeah. And it was early this year. But they were trying to win the living room. That was the race back then. It's different now. Obviously, they still want the living room, but now it's about, we got to make money. That's what gaming's about now. For better or worse, however you want to look at it.
Money was still a thing back then. It wasn't like, hey, let's just do it. We love this. Of course, like, money was still involved.
But my point is, Xbox back then, under Peter Moore's leadership, was a loss leader. It wasn't profitable because they were trying to build something. So they had the ability to take risk and do crazy stuff. And, like someone had posted in the thing, the Xbox 360 arcade was $199 back then.
Under $5? Was it under $5 or something like that? Yeah.
But look at the prices of consoles and stuff now. Look at the development budgets just to make these games now, and you can't take crazy risks because if the game fails, the entire studio is closing. We didn't, and sure, there were studio closures and layoffs and all that back then, but not to the degree that we're seeing now. And that's just because of the huge financial investments that are in games. And now they ain't about taking losses on the hill. You just saw Valve was on with Skill Up and Jake, and they straight up was like, no, we ain't subsidizing the Steam machine. It's going to cost you, Mm-hmm. Back then, it was about get people in the door, get it as cheap as possible, make money off of the game sales. Ain't doing that no more.
No.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to get all philosophical about this, but that's the big difference I see now versus what we were doing, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah. It's a lot, but hopefully things get better with like the industry. Like, don't get me wrong, like I love all these games that's coming out, but also hearing all these layoffs and like it's just been kind of complicated, But by the way, I found this picture. This one was E306. This is E306 with Peter Moore and everything. We a bunch of us got together at the Xbox booth. Man, I can't remember him. He passed away a couple of years back. Oh man, he was super cool. He was the one that had the database of.
I know what you're. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It was like I can't remember. Was it Xbox something database? I can't remember. Like you're playing a game and it will automatically tweet. I don't know, like what your console is thinking about you or saying about you because I'm playing like certain games. Mm-hmm. So it was really cool at that time. You know, it was really really cool. Yeah, but I just want to show that and everything. No, Paris, it was a good conversation. Like I know we could be here for like 3-4 hours, you know. But, because there's tons of other stuff that we just can't remember. I just gotta like start looking and finding and stuff, you know. But yeah, and for those that will love to hear more old content from GTR, because I still have all these original stuff. I'm gonna post more from now on, not only for this year. I'm gonna start posting more here and there. The thing has just been crazy. That's why I haven't really posted anything new from GTR Retro. And I wish I could find audio of Paris of Uncle Gamer days. That would have been cool, Mega. You probably have some cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Uncle Gamer, unfortunately, is a tragedy. And you remember this with the lips and stuff where I couldn't recover it. So it's like, unless someone made a copy and is floating around online, I unfortunately lost all that content from there. Because, man, I would love to hear the Casey Hudson interview I did for Mass Effect 2. I would love to have that, just to see how much I've changed over the years versus that, because I have a memory of it. And again, just proud moment for me was just how much the BioWare community appreciated that interview I did. That was just, for me, you know, on a personal level, that's just something I'll always cherish, because it was a passion thing. And I think going back to what you're talking about, I think that's the other thing too, man.
Yeah.
A lot of us back then, and I'm not saying that it doesn't hold true today, but I just think a lot of people got into this back then, bro, just because they loved it. It wasn't about, oh, we're about to I'm going to make a bunch of money on this. I'm going to get super chats and member goals and all this nonsense. It was about, I love video games. I love talking about video games. I love playing video games. I want to be a part of this community and do stuff. That's what it was about all then. Like you just mentioned, like you were showing the E3 with you and Mandy. People couldn't go because they couldn't afford to fly out or whatever. It's like you went because you were putting your own money in to be able to go do this stuff, and because you loved it. And I think that gets like, okay, I'm gonna try and keep this brief.
Yeah. No, take your time. It's all good.
The thing that, look, please clip this, because y'all love to clip shit I do in the preview, the pre-show. So clip this in the main show.
Yeah.
I think what pisses me off the most that we see with this new era of people always looking for a goddamn gotcha moment. They want to take you out of context. They want to do all these things is they're not genuine. Everything now, allegedly no one is genuine. No one does this because they love to do it. And I know that's not true, but that's the narrative that's pushed, that you're just trying to get some financial gain. And we obviously see all the crazy rage bait stuff and nonsense, like all the Ghost of Yote thing. Oh, it's not profitable. Bro, you don't have to make 50 videos talking about it. Okay, you don't think it is? Fine, move on to the next thing. But you purposely do these things to try and upset people. Everything's about upsetting people now. Nothing's about, let's celebrate games. Let's be excited about games. And then when you are excited about games, you are passionate about something, people try to say, oh, you're only doing that because you got the game for free or whatever. You know, nonsense. Like I said, Avowed. I will still die on the hill. I freaking loved Avowed. I don't care what none of y'all say. I said what I said and I meant what I said. And people literally tried to say, oh, you're only saying that because they'd given me a statue thing or whatever. Right? It's like, what? No, you know, and that's the unfortunate thing about where we are today is you just can't be excited about something. There always has to be an ulterior motive on why you're excited about something. Look, I'm old. Y'all, like I said, people talking about me 24/7, but I'm going to keep doing this because I love to do it. And you can never take that away from me. I don't care what you say. I love to do it. Look, this Yellow Chair, I freaking love this game. I love it. And I will never make any illusions about my fandom for that game that I sit in this chair that people love to mock about. Because it's like, bro, it's okay to be a fan of something. You can be a fan. There's nothing wrong with being a fan. Now, yeah, I'm gonna stop talking because we will go on that.
No. Go ahead, Paris. I'm not stopping you. Go ahead.
No. Nah, because I don't want to rant and rave about this stuff too much. But that's just something that annoys me. And look, this Twitter location has exposed a lot of other stuff with your location. You ain't even from where you say you're from, and you yapping online anonymously. But that's all. That's all it is, man. It's like, it's okay to be excited about things. It's okay to be passionate about things and want to express that joy. Like, I don't know if you remember meeting her, but Miss Fallout. Remember we went to the Fallout early preview thing early last year. Mm-hmm. Miss Fallout was there because she's a huge Fallout fan. I follow her on social media now. I'm always seeing her posting about stuff. Her and her husband, Mr. and Mrs. Fallout. They love Fallout. They're super passionate about it. They get invited to all, Bethesda invites them to all the Fallout things. They're crazy super fans. I love that shit. I love it.
I love that.
Because that's what it's about, man. They're not doing this like, oh, let me make a bunch of money. Look, if they get some financial gain from it, that's kudos to them. It's a bonus. But they clearly started this because they love that universe and they love being a part of it. Mm-hmm. And I can't stand people that try to diminish people that are excited about stuff. That's what I'm saying. That's ultimately what I'm trying to say. Let people be excited about things. Mm-hmm. It's okay. Mm-hmm. Don't let none of these random weirdos on the internet tell you any different. Even if they clip you, whatever, good. They're just exposing you to more people and more people to get to see that you're excited about stuff. Look at it that way. Because the people that sit around and clip you all day, that's their life. They ain't playing no games. They ain't doing nothing. That their only passion is trying to make you miserable. Don't let them do it. That's all I'm saying.
Agree. Don't let them win. And here's the thing, for me, and then you're right, Paris, like, I started doing this because I just love games.
Yes.
I love games. And, I went to an event not knowing what was going to happen. I just showed up. And it gave me the opportunity to meet so many people, not only the online community, the gaming community, and also people from the industry that worked on those products, right? And I was just there like, wow, this is cool. Going to my first Xbox event and then going to my first Nintendo event for the GameCube. My mind was blown. I was like, yo, this is so cool, man. But let me share my experience. Let me record it and share my experience to people that I don't know online that also share the same passion. And because I want them to feel like that they're also here. And that was my thing from the beginning, was sharing that to my community. And it wasn't like, yo, let me get money. Let me tell you, when I got my first paycheck from my content creation thing, I was not like expecting it. It just popped up because I wasn't even thinking about it. And I was like, oh man, this is so cool. This is awesome. That to me was a bonus, right? But the cool thing was hearing people like, oh my God, Danny, I feel like I was there at E3. I was there at Xbox Unleashed. I was there at GameCube event, and that was my goal. And also invite them like, yo, let's get together on Halo 2 and let's talk about why we love this so much. It wasn't about like console war or none of that nonsense, like it wasn't about that. We were talking about the games. The actual games, why we love these games.
Yes.
What they could do better. And of course, we talk about like things that's happened with Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. We talked about that. But our main thing was like the actual games that we're having fun with, man. And you're right. I think like now it's all about, let me get people angry. Now it's like the opposite. And here's the thing. Not everybody's like that. Not every content creator is like that. Like, at all. Because I usually will go and see people. Because look, right now I have a Meta Quest 3. I got it a couple, I think it was like a month ago or so from Meta. And I'm like, yo, let me, because I don't know that community. Let me go. I see, look. So like, I will go online and to see like people from that community. I want to learn more about the product. I want to learn stuff, and I found a bunch of creators. I'm like, oh, but they're so passionate about the product, right? Same thing if Same thing if I'm getting into a game, this is my first time playing it, I'm going to see if there's other people that knows about the lore, knows about the tricks and tips. You know, retro gaming, I'll do that. You know, like there's a passionate group of people that share that passion to the world, to the community, right? And when we discover a new creator, it could be podcast, YouTube, whatever, Twitch, anything, I think we should thank them because it's work doing this. Like it takes a lot of time to do this, but also share that to other people that have never heard of these people. Share that instead of showing something that you don't agree on the video, like something negativity. Let's share something positive, like other people are sharing the same type of vibe like that we're feeling to about gaming. Share that instead of the nonsense that we get to see online. You know, so that's something that I've been focusing on a lot, is just finding good content, good people that is part of the community too, you know? So I think we should wrap it up like that, right?
Yeah, we should wrap it up. I'm going to say one last thing before we wrap it up. So this goes back to last week.
Oh, yes.
In the pre-show,
yes.
I made a comment about something that, you know, just a conversation I had at an event with someone about PlayStation, and we're just wide range of subjects we were talking about. And, you know, this just ties into, you know, when Jez was talking about PlayStation and PC and all that. And I was like, yeah, heard something similar, because we were talking about day and date. And what I found hilarious was, number one, I knew it. I know, bro, people watch us just waiting for something. And someone clipped it, put it out online. Next thing I know, you showed me I'm being quoted in Vice. And then, like, I brought up the freaking Reforge dude. He's talking about it, but talking about it wrong because it wasn't what I said. And I guess that's my only thing. Look, if you want to clip us, clip it. Fine. But if you want to discuss it, either play exactly what I said or quote it exactly and stop spinning it into some nonsense narrative of something that I didn't even say or imply. Because if you listened to what I said, the point was PlayStation ain't leaving PC. The whole point was it was an analogy of they'd end it all before they would do day and date on PC, but they ain't leaving PC. In other words, they ain't going to do day and date anytime soon, but you're still going to get PlayStation games on PC. That is what I said. And that is what the conversation was about. So stop with the nonsense. And especially when you allegedly don't like me and you say I lie and falsehoods and all the other nonsense that you say because it's the only way anyone pays attention to you. Mm-hmm. Just get it right. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Please. All right, I'm done. I'm done.
And remember, PlayStation made $2 billion, over $2 billion.
Oh yeah, that
just
was
on
funny.
PC.
Yeah, when that came out the other day, I was like, oh, they ain't leaving PC.
Oh,
There's
they're
no
not
way. There's no way.
Leaving, I know.
But Shuhei said it when he was on with Greg, on Kind of Funny, on with Greg, and was talking about it. For them, PC's like printing money. Why the hell would they not put a game? And since we're talking about it, I will just inject my own personal opinion into this. Do I think they'll do day and date? No, because they still want some level of incentive for you to go buy a PlayStation. That's what I think.
Agreed. Mm-hmm.
But I do think they need to shorten the amount of time that games come to PC. I do think that. I think 6 months, personally, because you still want it to be in that range of excitement. And here's the thing, especially what Valve's doing with the Steam machine and all this. I don't care how great your game is these days. Did you not see all the games that nominated in the Game Awards? There are so many games that are available across multiple platforms that are freaking amazing that if you waste too much time, you will get pushed off into the backlog because I'm on to the next thing. That's the one thing about now, bro, there's so many dope games now. So many dope games from indie all the way up to AAA that you need to catch me while the iron's hot. Or I'm moving on to something else. So in that way, and look, people get mad, exclusivity should go away. It should. Because why are you forcing me to spend, especially, look at these prices, to spend $500, $600, $700, $800 more dollars for a box to play 1 or 2 games when I can buy 1 box and I'm playing 90% of everything. Mm-hmm. Cue the Nintendo people, but I even think Nintendo should too. I do. And I know
what, to
people,
put up PC? You should.
Yeah,
they should.
Why not? Why not put Mario? But the thing that Nintendo does that's different is they typically synergize their games with their hardware, because their hardware would do something unique, be it motion or whatever, that makes sense to be on that hardware. So I get it. And obviously Nintendo has no incentive because of everyone. The attach rate to their games is far beyond anything that PlayStation or Xbox does. That's why they don't do exclusives. If this is as an example, if The Last of Us, Spider-Man 2, Ghost of Yotei had the attach rate that Mario Kart has or Zelda has on a PlayStation, then PlayStation, yeah, why put it anywhere else? Because people will literally buy your box to play those games. But we realize that's not the case. Look, as much as I love Astrobot, my game of the year last year, I was screaming it to the heavens. Love Astrobot. We know the sales numbers of Astrobot in comparison to the amount of PlayStations that are out there is minimal. So highly doubt Astrobot goes to PC because it's literally catered for the PlayStation. But the point is, even their game, even a game of the year is not being exposed to as many people as it possibly could because it's locked to 1 box. And that's all I'm saying. You take console war nonsense and argue this and clip this and you know, subtweet me and all the nonsense that y'all do every day anyways. But you know I'm right. You know I'm right. Mm-hmm. And that goes for Xbox too. I did not think Xbox was going to put a goddamn Halo on PlayStation. I thought that was crazy talk. But they did.
There's tons of clips.
But ton of clips. Yeah. But at the end of the day, once the dust settled, you realize, it don't matter. Whatever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I look at it. At the end of the day, it's like, whatever. Sure, we grew up in an era where you had the Atari and the television, the ColecoVision and all these things, and that was a thing. Mm-hmm. Just like I said before, it is way too much money out. You're leaving way too much money on the table by not making your games available to as many people as you possibly can. And anyone that argues against that, get out of your feelings, because it's your feelings. It's not reality.
It's not reality. Yeah.
It's just the truth. So,
you know, whatever. I just wish, and I have an audio somewhere in one of the episodes. This is old. I think either 360 era or like early Xbox One era. Is one of those 2 eras. I can't remember exactly. We're talking about it, and Paris goes, you know what? We should have one console and just release everything in one console. Mm-hmm. We get this, because we were talking about a console where at that time, like, yo, it's too much. Like, cause at that time, people were like, is it 1080p? Is it 720? Like, it's like early time, right? Paris, it was me, Paris, Mandy, I think P too. And one of Paris said something like, you know what? Just have one console and just release all the games on that one console. Like, just put everything. It's no exclusives. Just at that time, imagine releasing that now. Like, yo, Paris said this over 10 years ago. Like, 10 to 15 years ago.
Bro, there was even times like, and this is after I'm literally hosting the Xbox showcase and saying how Starfield is exclusive. There's tweets, which you can go find right now if you want to look, but they always conveniently don't find those. Yeah. 2021, 2022. I'm talking about, I understand why there's exclusives, but I am not a fan of it. And laid out my reasons why. I've never been a fan of it. And this is what gets me in trouble. I get it. I think I talk in a very authoritative way. So people miss the fact that, bro, I'm just looking at it as logically. Okay, this is why they're doing it, because they're trying to get you to buy their box or whatever. I get it. And I've always said, first party studios, do what you want, because you own the IP. You get to do whatever you want. My issues with it's mainly always been with third party exclusive, because people got so mad at me about Final Fantasy Rebirth not being on Xbox. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that's silly. Why is a third party exclusive? And I get there was a time and place where they had those deals. bro, we don't need to be doing that no more. And people got so mad at me for saying that. And then what happened a year later? Square was like, yeah, we need to put this everywhere.
We got,
and that's my point. And that's my point. That's all I'm saying.
And they're excited to release it on the Switch too. Even more excited, like, yo, they know that audience is a different beast. They know that. So that's cool. By the way, before we wrap it up, shout out to John D. Henderson. He sent me this his new book that just came out recently. It's called "If Video Games Have Taught Me Anything." This is a really cool book. And actually, it's tons of people here. Like tons of people. Jack Black is in here. I'm gonna read a couple people that are here. Jack Black, Henry Cavill. Let's see who else. Lady Gaga. There's like a bunch of people here. Chef Mike. You remember Chef Mike?
Yes.
Chef Mike. The Rock is in here. He actually hit me up. Also, Nars. Shout out to Nars. He actually hit me up. He's like, Danny, I would love for you to be part of this book. So here's part of it right here. You can see it. So I'm in the book too. And he wanted me to say what was it that what video games have taught me anything, right? And I said, never give up. It reminds me of like, I see life as like this. Playing a game like Mario Brothers. I got to see all my friends finish the game. And I'm struggling to finish the game because of the last freaking castle, the last level. There's like a maze, basically. You have to figure out how to get to Bowser. It took me forever, but I never gave up. Never gave up. And the day that I completed that and I beat Bowser, bro, I was running around. I was jumping top of the bed. My mom was running like, yo, what the hell is going on? I was just like, that's how I see life, yo. Because I never gave up and I figured it out. It took me some time. I was way behind compared to my friends, but I managed to complete it, right? So I talked about it here in the book. So for you Paris.
I can tell you, I already know what it is. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Bro.
Mike Tyson Punch-Out.
I was stuck on Super Macho Man what seemed like 20 years. I could not get past that dude for nothing. And I was like, I got to do it because now my friends are, we beat Mike Tyson. What? I got to figure this out. Figured it out. Bro, the day I beat Mike Tyson, oh my God. Like you said, jumping up and down, running around the room. Oh my God. It was like the greatest days of my life because it was earned. You know what I mean? No cheat codes, none of that. It was like, bro, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to figure this out, and I'm beating these dudes. And I did it. Oh, my God. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. That was my moment. I'll never forget. Because
remember, at that time, there was no YouTube. There was no, there was game guides, but I never had that. I
think Nintendo was doing the 1-900 hotline back then.
Oh, my God. That's a ripoff. They'll keep you in there.
I've told you, and I won't say his name, but there's someone at Xbox that used to work on that, and he told me the whole story about how all that stuff went down. Bro, they was ripping these kids off, man.
Oh my God.
The phone bills. Oh my God.
You know what I will do? I have a timer, right? And I will call and they put the music of whatever game is out at that time. So I remember when I called, it was Super Metroid. And I hear the music of Super Metroid. I'm like, oh man, this is so cool. Yo, I'm gonna talk to Nintendo. And they're talking to me, giving me some tips with Super Metroid. And I knew my timing was like, okay, the free portion of this is it's almost ending. I have to hang up because they're gonna charge me, and my dad's gonna see it. I'm gonna get so in trouble. 5, 4, 3, 2, boop, and I just hang up every single time. Oh my God, that was so cool.
Think about it, Nintendo was doing it, and Vince WWE, they were doing it back then too.
Oh really? I don't remember.
Yeah, man, and. Boy,
what the hell they will talk about when you call, though?
I don't know, because my mom would have freaking shot me if I would have been to run up the phone bill. But because I remember reading something about that, just by how, because back then it was very unchecked. So anybody could just pick up the phone in 1-900, and parents were just getting these ridiculous phone bills. And it was Nintendo and WWE were the main culprits.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's crazy. Yo, and now we're going to wrap it up. Because there's something that reminds me, I remember the early NES era, and I see my friend walking home, and I see him with the Nintendo Power, and I'm like, That is so cool. I want to be part of that. I want to get that.
Yes,
How can I get that? Where can I buy it?
Yeah.
And I remember, man, like that was like a big thing. Only those magazines, Nintendo Power, EGM, PlayStation magazine would come with a free demo disc, the Xbox official magazine too. Like, I remember playing Final Fantasy VII for the first time on a demo disc, man. You know, like I also miss that era of like demos. Now demos is different because before you'll see demos here and there, but at that time, almost every game had a demo. Almost every game. And I remember downloading that all the time on the 360, you know? So I missed that era too.
Two for me, I vividly remember you bring up OXM, getting that Splinter Cell demo.
Oh,
the OXM magazine. That was crazy.
Yes.
But I remember, and I don't know if it was what it was called back then, Funko Land or Babbage's or whatever the hell. But if you pre-ordered Grand Theft Auto 3, you got the Metal Gear Solid 2 demo. That was for how I played.
What? I don't remember that. What?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh,
because remember I always tell you I feel Kojima betrayed me because I'll never forgive him because I would play the hell out of that Metal Gear Solid 2 demo with Snake, and then when I finally got to the main game and they pulled the okie doke and now you're raiding, I'm like, okay, when's Snake coming back? I go, this is almost cursed, but this is BS. What? I was so mad.
Yo, that's crazy, man. Yeah. I mean, to me, besides PT is like my all-time favorite demo. But before that was playing the demo BioShock. That to me was like mind-blowing.
Dude,
that water,
the
beginning stages, what the heck? This is creepy. You know, I know it's different with Infinite, but that first demo, man.
So speaking of that, I know we're about to go, but I'm going to say this other moment just from the 360 era. So like you play that demo or all that, but you never interacted with the Big Daddy in the demo, right? Bro, I'll never forget. And again, another thing you and I were connected to, because remember, BioShock came out early and we got to review all that. But anyways, I remember playing it that first night. And then that moment when you actually have to interact, you have to take out the Big Daddy.
Yo.
Chills, dude. Chills. Yo, that was just one of the moments that was just like, ooh, like I was like on edge, you know, because I was terrified. Like, I don't know what this thing's going to do, you know?
Yeah, yo.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Video games. This is why I love video games, man. Moments like that you never forget.
I love it, man. No, but everybody, thank you so much, man, for listening to this almost 2 hours, of just saying 360.
Hey, when you get our old asses talking down memory lane, this is what happens, man.
I hope you guys enjoyed it because this is a great conversation. We talked about a lot of personal stuff, but also just memories at that time, you know, with 360 and everything like that. And, you know, next year is a big year. Next year is the 25th anniversary of Xbox. I can't wait for us to talk about that because, it's crazy. 25 years, Paris. That is insanity, you know. So for that company, for like the newer company compared to like PlayStation and Nintendo, but you know, there's been highs and lows, man. But there's so much that we could talk about during that time too, man.
You know, something that I think would be cool to do, and obviously people can go look it up now. But when we do the 25th next year, the first time we talked to Phil Spencer.
Oh, like what? Like listen to it and talk about
interview.
It. Yeah. You know what I want to do? I want to do a thing where we're gonna play all 3 audio, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Something like that. Yeah, I think that would be cool. I think that would be cool.
Trilogy. You know, that type of thing. Yeah, we should definitely do that. I think that would be cool.
Now, a really crazy thing, because we never got to talk to Don Matrick, unfortunately, but.
Oh, he didn't want to.
I don't know if you can pull the archives back when you first time you talked to Peter Moore.
Oh, I got it.
Shane Kim, like, you know what I'm saying? Like these people, like just over the years and how the conversations, you know, how consistent or how much they changed, you know, as leadership changed with Xbox.
I mean, I still have, and I could use this. Actually, I want you to be part of it too, because this one you weren't part of this interview. It was me and my brother. The first time we sat down with Jay Allard.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
It was a week before 0 hour. It was exactly a week before 0 hour. no PR. Like I said, aggressive. No PR, nothing. I just hit up a friend of mine that worked at Xbox. Like, hey, who can I contact to get Jay Adler? And this person was like, don't worry, I got you. Talk to Jay Adler. Jay Adler like, oh yeah, gamer tag, I'll do it. Yeah, I don't need no PR. Yo, he just called me, and we did shit like that.
That would never happen.
That would never happen. That would never happen nowadays.
Oh my God.
Never. So I have the original audio, and I think we should listen to it. Like, cause I was nervous. My brother fangirl, like, yo, he's just like, yo, I can't believe Jay Adler called us.
Hey, could you imagine? I'm pretending. Hello. Hey, it's Sarah. Let's talk. Imagine, that would never happen.
That would never happen.
Yeah.
Yo, I bet PR is like, why would you do that? Are you crazy? Are you insane?
Don't do that.
Don't do that. We need to be there to control the message. Jay Adler like, nah, meh.
So to give you a sneak peek to something, when Phil came on XCast, a couple years back, that very infamous interview where he was in a bad mood. I'm not kidding. There was probably, I'm trying to think. I think there was like 5 people from PR that was on that call. Yo. Just listening. Just listen.
They were mentally prepared, like, yo, this is not going to be good. This is not good.
They're always in the background, just listening and obviously taking notes. And man, it's crazy. That would not happen today.
Before we wrap this up, Paris, this is a 20th year. It's almost in a couple of weeks. It's going to be over the year, right? So we're never going to go back to 20. That's it. After this, that's it, right? I just want to say thank you to you and to Pete for still doing this, and because I get it. Sometimes it's like, I don't feel like recording. I get it, but I appreciate all these years, even before you joined TTR. Like, we always helped out, and like that moment. Let me tell you, man, that moment when I saw you on stage doing the Xbox Game Showcase, hosting it, I was like, yo, that felt like it was me. I was like, yo, that's my brother, man, doing this.
It was you, because I wouldn't be there without you. It's just a fact.
Yeah. It was a cool moment, man, and I'm glad that we been growing together. See our family grow, changes throughout the years and everything. And I just want to say thank you, man, to you and Pete, man, and also Mandy and Feels Good,
David,
and David, Cyber, JBB, Miss Irie, everybody that was my brother, Nano, Pete, everybody, it wasn't for y'all. I think GTR would have been done a long time ago, because it is hard to be around for this long and having so many episodes. Like, it's hard. It's really, really hard. It's not easy to do, and I'm still having fun with this, yo. Still to this day, I'm having fun with this.
I say, when it ain't fun, I'm done. When it's not fun, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. When I was ranting before, is like, you do it because you love it, man. You do it because it's fun. When it ain't fun, man, it's like it's time to wrap it up and not do this. But I mean, same goes back to you, man. I've said it a million times. I'm not doing this if it wasn't for you and Chris. I'll never forget sending out that email. Hey, I want a podcast. Got any tips? And yeah, I mean, that just changed it from there. And obviously it ain't even friendship. It was like literally family, at this point. I mean, you've obviously seen my kids grow up, you, Ree, obviously Violet now, like I was just over there last week,
She called Uncle Paris.
Yeah. It's like, that's what it's about. And that's, don't let none of these idiots online ever try and dissuade you from doing something that you love. And I sincerely mean that. If you love to do something, do it. Don't let these idiots talk you out of it or whatever. Oh, one last thing. I'm just saying, and I swear to God, we're getting out of red today. The whole reason I even brought up the whole thing was, look, Colin and I may not be the best as of friends. We probably don't like each other. But the point on it is, even Colin on a podcast gave his opinion about Intergalactic. Hey, they might show it at the Game Awards. Essentially is all he said. Yo, it got spun into a thing of that he was essentially saying it was at the Game Awards and guaranteeing it. And then, because I saw a random tweet he put out, he screenshot all this crazy hate that he was getting from people from something he didn't even say.
That's crazy. Listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
It's just nuts, man. It's just nuts how that goes down.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you for watching the stream. Long stream, by the way. Long podcast. Enjoy it. I hope you guys like it. We will do more of these. Next year, you're right, Paris. We should reminisce, listen to these episodes, talk about it, all this stuff, man. So we should definitely do that. And hopefully we'll get new people to be on the show that have never been on the show to sit down and talk. Hopefully we could do that too in the future. Future. You never know. All right, guys. Until next time, we're out. Take care. Bye. All right, I stopped.